Hello, welcome to Crafting is Therapy. Today I am trying the third formula of silicone mold making from Resin. Here is a list of the supplies that you would need for making your molds. I'm really excited to try this one because the other two formulas were amazing. Here's what the bottles look like. And as usual, I'll make sure I put the link in the description so you can easily find it on Amazon. I actually have it all mixed up. This is a plastic container from Dollar Tree. Wasn't quite sure what else to use because I don't think you want to mix in metal, and you don't want to mix silicone in silicone. That's what I did last time, and I know one of my first molds didn't cure right away like it should have, but I don't know if you can tell, very few bubbles, which, you know, I've come to expect from a Resin product because they're amazing. But I already have my little box made. Again, this is just a shipping box I had that I cut up, and painter's tape from Dollar Tree. Doesn't need to be the expensive painter's tape. But no, if you want your mold shiny all the way around or whatever, you're going to want to use a shinier tape. But so the mold will actually look like it's textured like the tape is. And I have my rubbing alcohol there. I'm actually going to use a Viva paper towel. I like to use these because they're nice and heavy, and then I can reuse them if I didn't use colored, you know, paints or alcohol inks or something on it. If it's just water or alcohol, I'll set it aside and let it dry and reuse it again. And like how it tore there because of when I went over the tail, I'll just pull that apart and I have two pieces. But I have this cute little bird. I have a couple of them, but I thought, how fun would that be to be able to make my own, put little flowers in it, or even some dried bugs. I have some dried bugs my girlfriend sent me from Arizona. So I thought that would be pretty cool, you know, because birds eat bugs. So the sky's the limit, you know, you can put in what you want. But if you see how the spacing is, it's pretty good. I almost wish I had some little things so that when it started to set up, I could set them on top. So have things on top and the other side of the mold. Make it a multi-purpose. And I also put painter's tape on the bottom to seal the hole, because we all know that would make a big mess if we left that. I have this big roll of double-sided tape because I can't find my little stuff. It's just one of those weeks I can't find anything, so if I need small pieces, I can only find the big pieces, and vice versa. I'm going to cut this down some. And in the instructions, it does come with instructions, but for some reason, the instructions that came with this set were the same as my clear set that I had, and I'm pretty sure that that's probably not the same because the cure time's a little bit different. See that? I'll just come off and then carefully place, because you want adequate base. And then push it down really well. And I could probably move it, let's see, let's move it this way a little bit. See there. But I mixed up a big batch, and I'm using this awesome metal scraper. I'm glad I purchased it because otherwise all I have is silicone scrapers. And in the instructions on all their formulas, it says not to use silicone mixing cups or silicone stir sticks. And this stuff takes a minimum of 8 hours to set up, which is pretty nice. I usually let everything sit overnight though. That's just me because I've tried to take things out earlier and, you know, it didn't work out that way. But you just pull it in nice and slow, and if you watch, you can see some bubbles in there popping as they're going over the edge. And to help it along so that those bubbles have more time to pop, I will actually pop this in my honey's beer refrigerator because they recommend putting it in the refrigerator for about an hour, and that helps with the bubbles degassing if there's any. You know, I stirred this kind of fast, I guess, which I have a bad habit of that, but well, there it goes. Yay, I mixed enough to cover it the first time. Oh, and I am seeping a little bit there. But I'll put another piece of tape on there before I put it in the refrigerator. And I'll also cover it with plastic. They say to cover it really good with that. But I didn't show you mixing it because, you know, who wants to watch it mix for 5 minutes? It's a 1-to-1 ratio, which makes it super easy. The only thing I didn't like is both bottles were the same color. Ooh, my double-side tape didn't stick. Well, we're gonna have to cut it out. The other way, I suppose. But otherwise, so far so good. That is just operator error because I didn't wait for my tape to really settle down. So I will reposition that and then put it in the refrigerator. And I'll be back to show you the final product. All right, time to demold these. Wanted to show you this. I started to take it out, and then I was like, oh, you guys need to see this too. I left this dry overnight, and I thought it was kind of gratifying. It kind of reminded me of, you know, when we were kids and putting glue on our hands and letting it dry and peeling it off. But all it does is you can wipe it right out. Got this. It's nice and stretchy. I don't know what I was expecting, but that's pretty neat. So let's see how these work. And I have gloves on, in case you're wondering, just in case. This has been sitting, let's see, about 12 hours. So if you can tell, it has the texture of the tape. And I ended up going against the rules and I used hot glue to get them to stay down. I think it's something with the painter's tape that the double-sided tape I was using wouldn't stick to. Let's see if you can see that. So that does seem a little gooey there, and I do think it's because of the tape. And the hot glue was sitting right there too as well, because it's squished out some. But it shouldn't affect the mold any. So on this one, I probably should let it sit longer, but I'm gonna get my bird out of there. One thing I have noticed, oh, that's nice and stretchy. It's still kind of tough, but not bad. There we go. So it is still a little wet on the inside, but because my bird is glossy, I don't know if you can you see how that shines like that? That means that the resin will be shiny as well, which you can't go wrong with that. Some things, you know, are great matte, and other things you want shiny. I know the skull I made, I wish I would have made that matte instead of shiny. And I'm just cleaning it up, because then I can take the tape off and see how that is. Even with the tape on there, some still got in there. But let's see. Oh, but not too much, so. Yeah, created its own little seal. It's much easier though if you use solid pieces, because I don't think, yeah, even this one I'm gonna have to seal it really good if I decide to make a mold out of it. But I'm sure, I know my other mold videos, I've seen a couple of companies copy them already, so I'm sure one of them will come out with a little bird like this, and because I showed this, I'm sure they'll come out with a little angel, because that's what companies do. They copy, and you know, I'm all right with that. Take my idea and make millions. Right? Yeah, it doesn't matter to me if it makes them happy. If it makes all of you happy to have copies of what I'm making, that's even better, because we all deserve to be happy. So, this is a ring holder. It was really cute. Unfortunately, I know the texture won't show on it because it's on the bottom part of it, but that is okay. And this will be a combination of shiny and matte because of the paint that's on it. And see, I would say that the parts that are wet, that is why they recommend double-sided tape and not hot glue. Because it does say in the instructions that hot glue is different. It changes the curing. So I'll just cut along here. If you're wondering what I'm using, this is what it is. I picked it up at Walmart. Unfortunately, I haven't found blade replacements. If you see, let's see. Doesn't want to, if that helps. It's just a nice little blade. And it is sharp. So I like to use it for this kind of stuff. And I'll clean it up better off camera. I need to get one of those neat little, I think it's a cuticle cutter, is what a lot of the professional mold makers use for trimming their molds. So if you can see, that's textured. It would have been nice to be able to have that part on there, but so I would say probably with the thickness of this mold, I probably should have let it sit a little longer. See, that's what, because of this paint on there, that will be more matte. But it's got ripples on the side, and you can actually see those inside the mold. So I think this is going to be a really fun one. And it actually wasn't too bad taking it out of the mold, so we'll see. I'll let them, and I usually, after I make a mold, I let it sit for a few days, just to make sure that it's completely cured. And like these ones, because they're so thick, I really need to work on making thinner. And this one, if you see, I could have very well put different things in there if I would have poured half and then put other things. So I'm gonna try that, because you know, if you're making big molds like this, you might as well put other things on the other, you know, on the other side. So, but that is it. Let me see. Let me grab these so you can see all three Let's Resin mold products side by side. And they are, you know, I would say this one is the most firm, the blue, but this is really bendy, and this is a nice firmness, but still bendy, if that makes any sense. But one of these days, probably next weekend, I'll try and make a video and fill all three of them so we can see how the finished product looks. But that, again, that's what was in the other one. Nice little ring holder that I'm sure one of the companies will copy that too. So check out Amazon, because you just might see it in a few weeks. They're faster at production than I am. So, but I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing my mistakes, and I try not to edit them out because I want you guys to see the real deal, and And, you know, if you see my mistakes, what I'm doing wrong, then I hope that it helps you prevent making those same mistakes. So, but I hope you like this, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I'll answer them as soon as I see them. Have a wonderful day. Take care.